So this is verse number 8.25. Let's recite this. Dhumo ratristatha Krishnaha
Dhomo ratristha
Janmasa
Krishna
Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyotir Yogi Prapya Nivartate.
Yogi Prabhu Vartate.
Read the translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation: the mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back. Purport. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni mentions that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth attain to the moon and at death. These elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years by demigod calculations and enjoy life by drinking somarasa. They eventually return to earth. This means that on the moon there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses.
Yeah, so he's talking about the yogis when at a particular time, when they leave the body, then they come back. So pass away from this world during the smoke night, fortnight of the waning moon, 6 months when the sun passes to the south, that is the Dakshinayana. So they come back. So it's saying that those are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth attain to the moon at death. So they are heavenly planets, no? Moon and the sun and all these planets are actually heavenly planets. So these elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years when somebody attains the heavenly planets. And they get somarasa. Somarasa is a kind of celestial wine. Not like intoxication of today's, in this world, but it's a beverage, some kind of celestial wine. But they also come back. Sine punyam martilokam vishanti. Yeah, so they eventually return to earth. This means that on the moon there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses. So there are people who are there on this moon planet. So Prabhupada says, in all the planets, Sun, Moon, Mars, every planet there are living entities. They may not be able to see them because we are, in a particular body which can only perceive earthly people. But when you go to heavenly bodies, heavenly planets, then we cannot go by mechanical means. And Prabhupada says that if you have to go there, then we should have the body suitable to that. And even if you go there, you can't see anything because you are in different body and you may not be able to perceive them. So this is how we can understand that it's not by mechanical endeavor one can actually go to any of these planets. Like people are trying to go to different planets, astronauts and all. But the proper landing can happen and the person can become a resident of that planet only by following the methods prescribed in the Vedas. Then only one can go. But the point is, devotee is not interested in going to any of the planets, because ultimately you go to any of the planet, but you will not be able to get rid of the cycle of birth and death, and you will again have to come back to Martilokam, like that. So that's why to go when you have to come back anyway. And even if you go there, you may try to have some material enjoyment, but that doesn't satisfy the soul anyway, and also it's temporary again. And there are miseries of material existence. It may be less than material, the earthly planets or hellish planets, but there also you have miseries, because there also rivalry. That there are people who are against you. Sometimes demons may attack. All those things happens there also. So, because this whole world is Dukhalema Shashvatam. Krishna has not told only 3 planets are Dukhalema Shashvatam. No, it's from Brahmaloka to any Pataloka to hellish planets, every place actually is Dukhalema and Ashashvatam, like that. Actually, the greatest suffering for the living entity is that he is separated from Krishna. That's the greatest suffering. So even so-called enjoyment in this world also is suffering only. Like I was reading today a very nice point that Prabhupada says that any activity we do without remembering Krishna is sinful activity. There's a very high and wonderful understanding of sin. Because ultimately, when you remember Krishna and then you do any activity, then that activity is pleasing to Krishna. Then that activity is pleasing to Krishna. It's offered to Krishna. But if you forget Krishna and you do activities, all these activities are under modes only, modes of material nature. So that's why it is simple, because you are forgetful of the Lord. Like for example, you take something from your parents, and but you don't even acknowledge that, So or somebody's property you take, somebody's item you take, somebody belonging you take, and you don't even acknowledge that whose it is, and you just simply take it and use it. So that actually that's not proper. You become a thief like that. So even like when Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam, that verse is there. So yes, we all have our allotted quota, but it's not about just we have to take our quota. We have to also remember that this quota is given by whom, from whom it belongs to. That also is important. That's why Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. That is first thing one should recognize. It's all belongs to the Lord, and then I get my quota. So then you're an honest person like that. But if you're not even recognizing that it belongs to the Lord, then you're honest like that. So that's why he says that any activity which is devoid of remembrance of the Lord is actually sinful activity. That's what he says. So it's a beautiful point. I can show you that verse. Nice. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto. Yeah. Same then if you come. See this one. Sinful activities are those activities performed in forgetfulness of our relationship with the Lord. See, it's amazing, no? In the material world, activities of material enjoyment which are considered to be pious also are sinful. See? For example, one sometimes gives something in charity to needy person with a view to getting back the money 4 times increased. Giving with purpose of gaining something is called charity. Because when you don't have a sense of offering back to Krishna, then you will be doing it for some material gain, for sure. No, if not nothing, then for your own prestige. You cannot be without any motivation if you don't have motivation to serve the Lord. Because we cannot do anything without bereft of any motivation. Some motivation we'll have to have. यानी हम किसी के लिए हमारा कुछ इच्छा नहीं है, हम बस देना चाहते हैं. No, it cannot be like that. No, there has to be some motivation. Then there is a sense that okay, I am giving. So that's why that also is sinful. Then one has to recognize it is not me, it is Krishna's, and I am simply an instrument. You have to have knowledge. You have to have transcendental knowledge. Then only you can avoid sin. Otherwise, you cannot. And that's how you become sinful. So because you become dishonest, no. As soon as you don't recognize the Lord, you become dishonest. That's what he's saying. So everything done here is in the mode of material nature. Therefore, all activities but service of the Lord are sinful. See? So because of sinful activity, they become attracted to the illusion of material attachment. So this is an amazing point. So any activity we divide of forgetfulness of the Lord is actually performed in forgetfulness of our relationship with the Lord is actually sinful. So sinful activity is not just only something bad in terms of murdering somebody or killing somebody. That's not only sinful activity, crime. So all kinds of activities are sinful if it is devoid of remembrance of the Lord like that. So that's why Aimanda or Brahma says, no? I'll show you. Aibhala, Aimanda, or Brahma. So thinking that this is good, this is not good. Everything is bad in this material. It says. See. In the material world, the conception of good and bad are all mental speculation. Therefore, saying this is good and this is bad is all mistake. So everything is bad. See. So one has to understand that one is the servant of Krishna. That is the main thing. Then everything is okay. See, he says either in the material world, spiritual world. He is a Kripa, okay. And then in the material world, there is nothing good. Everything is bad. It is being contemplated in modes of material nature. So materialist conclusions of bad and good, moral, immoral are simply mental conscious sentiment. Actually, there is nothing good in the material world. In the spiritual field, everything is absolute good. This thing you have to clearly understand. Because anything, when you are forgetful of the Lord, everything is bad. Even so-called good activities also is bad only. Because you're not honest. You're not understanding your real position. You're in ignorance. That is bad. That perfection in the material world, this is good, this thing is bad. That is our mental confusion. Everything is bad here. Everything is bad. We are simply manufactured by our own imagination that this is good, this is bad. But to keep pace with the human society of peace, there is a necessity of doing or adopting something which is put by somebody. So we have to follow the path of Krishna consciousness. Then everything is good. So when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, so we are not considering about good and bad. We are considering about what pleases Krishna. Like for Arjuna, he was thinking about that killing my relative is bad. Going to forest is good. But later when he heard Bhagavad Gita, he understood, okay, following Krishna is only good. And that is absolute good. So it may be, maybe not seen good from the eyes of the world. Oh, he's killing his own relatives. But it's absolute good. So there is no sin there. That's why Krishna is saying, so you surrender to me, you're freed from all sinful reactions. So there is no sin for you then. So one has to act on the order of Guru and Krishna. Then one can live a sin-free life. That's a truly sin-free life. So so-called pious people also in this world have no value much because that is not done with the spirit of devotion to the Lord. That piety is not much of use. It's not considered so great. So let's hear some reflection. Anybody want to share? Quickly you can do one point you can share. Yes, Virat Prabhu, Arya Prabhu, Mohit Prabhu, Jalbir Prabhu, Punamata ji, Love Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
I think that we often think that when we do something good, like some charity or anything, it's like good action. But if we attach Krishna to it, then like if we just attach God to any action, then it becomes good action because by default we're pressured to not do anything bad, and also Krishna attaches element of purity to every action.
Yes, correct. That's like that verse says that whatever you do it for me, like that. But it is not just a kind of mechanical way you just attach. Like say, suppose somebody is distributing liquor, I will attach. And the Bhagwan ke naam pe likh kar de rahe hain, Krishna ke naam pe likh kar de rahe hain. It cannot be like that also. That's why one has to attach to Krishna. Attaching Krishna has its own, clear understanding. Meaning, one should act as per the order of Guru and Krishna, like that. So that is the meaning. That means one should inquire from the spiritual master. Let's say he wants to give charity, then he should inquire from the Guru and Krishna. So by the scriptures and through Guru, we can know that whom to give charity, for what purpose charity should be given, and then accordingly he should give that kind of charity. Correct, no? Otherwise, he can concoct and he can say in the name of Krishna. Like say one lady in train was saying, "No, I'm drinking tea. Krishna ko pehle arpan karte hain." She was taking like this and throwing and saying, "It's for Krishna," and then I drink. This is not the way you offer to Krishna, and you cannot offer to Krishna as per your terms. If some friend comes to your house, you have to ask the friend first, "What do you need? Okay, what can I offer you?" And then the friend will say, "Okay, I need this." Then you can offer. So Krishna is saying, "Patram pushpam phalam tvayam." He's not telling, tea, coffee, and all that meat and all that. He's not saying that. So you cannot offer that. Basically, the tea, coffee has this some intoxicant. That's why it is not offerable. That's why we have to know what is to be done based on Guru Sadhu Shastra also, and then do it as an offering to Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Mohit, Prabhu. Okay, Virat Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, yes, Mohit Prabhu.
It is very insightful to know that even the offerings that people give will be very selfish unless it is intended for the unless it is intended as Krishna's offerings. So that was the only reflection I could think of.
Yeah, the so-called charity also only will be out of false ego if you don't recognize Krishna, because we don't own anything. So what charity we can give to anyone? It is Krishna. So we should be knowing that I'm simply an instrument, and actually all our money, all our body, talent, skill, everything what way we have, it is meant for serving Krishna. So if suppose you come and give donation to temple, for the service of the Lord, so that one should think that, oh, this is how I get engaged in the service. Actually, Prabhupada would say sometimes you go and ask people, give funds for our temple service for preaching, and people don't give. Prabhupada said, you don't worry about it. If they are not giving, that is they are actually in disadvantageous position, not you, because you did your service of asking, but they did not give. They are not taking opportunity. They did not do the service. So they have the opportunity. Yes, Prabhu.
One question, Prabhuji. What about service where we believe that the other person needs something, like whether it's the need for a meal or the need for something more than that? Like if somebody is in need and we offer that to them purely because we want to make sure that they are not lacking that in the moment. So is that also through Krishna that we are offering it?
We have to have right understanding, Prabhu. See, one thing is we have to first know that everybody is lacking Krishna consciousness. That is the greatest need of every soul. First thing we have to recognize that. If you only think that, say you go to a poor person, you think that he needs food and he needs clothes. Let's say that is your conclusion. And you give food and clothes and you come back to your house. So that you have done injustice actually, because you acted on the wrong platform. On the platform of ignorance, because you thought he needs clothes and food, but you did not know actually he needed Krishna. Every living entity needs Krishna first. You getting now? Like for example, let's say you find a person, a driver. His driver is in the car, and his car has got puncture. His payya got puncture, and the driver is sitting there, from long time is there, and he's not able to come out, or maybe the door has a problem. Door is also not opening. So here the door not opening and tire is also punctured. So you come to that fellow and you repair the tire and you go back, and you left the driver there only. So that is foolishness, right? You repair the tire and the driver is also very happy, because that foolish fellow, he also doesn't understand that he's suffering. He did not eat food from a long time. He's thinking, "Oh, my tire is gone good." So like that, living entity is suffering because he doesn't have Krishna. So now if you set the tire and you can prepare the lock and give food to the driver, then it is fine. then it is fine. Because when you put the tire good and you also have to put the block also proper, the person recognize you as a well-wisher of yours, and he is ready to take food also from you. And then he feels nourishment. That's the real nourishment. The same way, we should not just try to feed the body of the people. We should also be having concern about the feeding the soul also. When you keep that as a major concern, then taking care of the other things also is not a problem. That's fine. Like we have food for life programs, right? So we give prasadam to people, the hungry people, and school meals. We provide so much of plates of prasadam. But that is not some social service. That's actually devotional service. We're trying to help people to get prasadam. So that may fill their belly, but that also nourishes the soul, because that they get the mercy and the blessings of Krishna, because it is prasadam, it's not ordinary food. And also they hear the holy name. And we also give them books sometimes, through that. While doing that, we may give some BTG magazines, or we like in our temple in Pune, when we have Harinam could go on continuously, holy name. So they're also hearing the holy name also. So, for example, say son of a Bill Gates, son of a Bill Gates is lost somewhere. So now your attempt to give him some food, clothing, and all that is not the best attempt actually. That will not help him, because you give him food, tomorrow again he'll be hungry. You give him clothing, again he'll have to beg for clothing. So the best service what you can do to the son of the Bill Gates, tell me, Mohit, what can you do? The best service.
Spread the name of the Lord, and then if there is a need.
You have to understand the example. The best service to the son of the Bill Gates, what you can do?
Okay, for Bill Gates to start, then that would be to make him aware first of the world, of what is needed.
No, I'm not satisfied with the answer. The Bill Gates' son is lost. He is loitering in the street. What is the best service you can render to that Bill Gates' son? He is a son of Bill Gates, but he has become a fakir. No, others will not tell. Mohit should tell. He has become a fakir now. He is not having anything to eat. He is, suffering. What is the best service you can render?
Go to Krishna.
No. Mohit, tell me the answer. What is the answer?
If he's become a fakir, Prabhuji, then the best service we can render on to him is to make him aware of what his standing is, and then give him the right guidance on consciousness.
What guidance? What guidance?
I mean, if it was me, I would have asked him to do a little more scripture, and to do scripture and understand what is the right path.
You're mixing the examples actually. It is just an example to help you understand. Understand, if a millennial's son got separated, he has become forgetful of his father. He doesn't remember also where his father, what is his address. He forgot completely, and he is loitering in the street. So if you want to help that person the best way, what way you can help?
Send him back to his father.
That's the point. You have to just send him back to his father. Everything will be taken care. It's an example, what I'm trying to say. Don't tell that we will give them Bhagavad Gita and all that. That is the right thing, what you're saying, but it is an example to help you understand. Same way, we have to also help the living entities by first helping them to go closer to Krishna. So you should have a plan. If you have a plan behind whatever you do, that you want to actually send that person close to Krishna, then it is fine. Like when you have to take care of your kids also, do you not take care of your kids by taking physical care, emotional care, mental care? You do that. But only if you do that care and don't give them spiritual nourishment, then you are doing injustice. Actually, you should have not become father and mother if you cannot help your dependents to go close to Krishna. That's what Shastra says. Guru na satyat, pita na satyat, janani na satyat. One should not become father, mother, guru if he cannot deliver his dependents from the cycle of birth and death. Scriptures are saying like that. You're getting this point, no? So the first responsibility is that we have to see how this person can be facilitated to go back to Krishna. That is the first, and for us also, for others also. So all our endeavors should be in that direction. So it doesn't mean that we become insensitive to their body and their mind. We don't say that. You may do whatever you may want to do, but what plan you have to help them to become closer to Krishna? If that plan is there, then you are okay. If you are simply concerned, compassion for, so that kind of compassion is, false compassion. It's a compassion for the body only. It's a compassion in ignorance, because it's like a person is drowning in the ocean, let's say, and you are going, and telling that, okay, at least I will save his coat. Okay, you save the coat, but the person is drowned. So it's like you feed him, you give him food, you give him clothing, and after that he leaves the body and go to the hellish planet because he's doing sinful activity. If some beggars are there, you give them food, clothing, shelter, everything you give. Still they are doing illicit sex, they are having intoxication, they are doing all that. They will go to hell next life. This life you gave them nice food, clothing, shelter. It's like saving the coat and person is drowned. So your health, only if it is there on the platform of body, it is no health. But it is pious activity. And that piety also, that's what we are discussing there. That so-called piety also is useless only, is bad only. That kind of pious activity also is bad. Because it is within the three modes. That's why best activity what you can do is, okay, you can go to that person, you can give him some food, clothing, and you give him Gita also then, if you want to. Give Gita and help him to understand Gita, make him chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So if you want to do that way, it is okay. That means you have some plan to, get the person. Like Prabhupada, when he saw in Mayapur, so many children were, hungry, and they were out of hunger, they were so miserable. Prabhupada had tears in his eyes. Then he told there should be food for life program. That means there should be prasadam distribution. So that is fine, because you may feel compassion for the person's suffering, but that suffering is not only because of hunger. The suffering is because he is separated from Krishna. That's why all that is. So, okay, so because right now he's suffering also, in terms of right now he's hungry also, you can give him food, no problem. But it should be done in a way that it helps him also to come closer to Krishna. Does it make sense, Bhai Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Makes sense.
Yeah. Otherwise, there are so many social philanthropist activity. It doesn't have any spiritual motivation. It is not spiritual at all. It's material activity only. And there is some sense of compassion, but it is misplaced compassion. There's no compassion for the soul. It's only compassion for the body. It's misplaced compassion. So true compassion is compassion for the soul. And when you have compassion for the soul, it's not that you are neglectful of their physical suffering. You know that the physical suffering also is there, and you are sensitive to it. So you may want to even help them. Like many times when epidemic happens, some kind of earthquake happens, many ISKCON devotees go and help. Actually, they may help, but they have some Krishna conscious perspective also, because they may help, and that may give people some kind of appreciation for ISKCON, and then maybe inclined to come and take Krishna consciousness more seriously. Sometimes ISKCON get that understanding. ISKCON may also be known that okay, they helped a lot, and then people may become interested. So people may take interest in Gita and all that. So there is some way indirectly people may be benefited to come to Krishna like that. So and also we can invite them when we are serving them. We can invite them to come to temple and things like that. So we are sensitive to people, but we have overall intention to bring people close to Krishna. Yeah, I hope this clarifies your question, Prabhu. Yeah. Viratu, you have any point to say? Any reflection, Viratu?
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. I had a reflection, and then one of my reflections was in this material world, it's important to try to dovetail our actions and our consciousness towards Krishna consciousness. So we may have different activities and duties to do on this material plane, but if we can try to find a way to dovetail these towards Krishna consciousness, then that will be more engaging, and that will be more appropriate. The example you gave was lots of nice examples, and also in terms of trying to work for Krishna rather than trying to look for our own material gain. I've tried to do that myself, and I also liked the discussion about charity and what is real charity versus misplaced compassion charity. That was really good. I like that too. And I like the point where the greatest loss someone can have is their separation from Krishna. So the greatest gain you can do for someone is reintroduce them to Krishna. And I like the Bill Gates son example. That was nice.
Like there is one project in Chowpatty they help the farmers, to get their good methods and procedures for irrigation and help them to do agriculture better. But then in the course of that, they may become devotees also, because they also get to hear Harinam Sankirtan, they get the books. Like Bhaktivedanta Hospital is there. So there also people come and take, medication and everything. But they have Jagannath deity, they give prasadam to patients, and they give them books also. They give spiritual care. And many of the people become devotees there. So even if you have to care, you have to care like that, that the person should also get some Krishna consciousness. It's important. Keep that in mind, and then you should help them. Sometimes you may not give much, like say, for example, for some relative of yours, he's not at all interested, but you may have to take care of him. So that you can do as a duty, but you have an intention that that person, you are praying for him. You're seeing he can get some prasadam. So now he may not know what is prasadam, but you are giving prasadam. So indirectly, you're trying to help him to become Krishna conscious also. So if you are in knowledge, then that will help him. So your so-called care also in some or the other will induce some Krishna consciousness in him, even though you may not be able to talk about Krishna much. And on the platform of being a brother or father, you may have to do some duty. You can do it, but you're doing it in a Krishna conscious way. You are yourself Krishna conscious. You know that what he needs is Krishna. And then you may take care as a duty, no problem. But somewhere you are going to give Krishna also, because he is connected to you. So you will, like you're offering food to Krishna, you prasadam he will get. Sometimes there is some festival, some kind of occasions where you may invite devotees at your house. That person will also, somewhat hear the holy name. Just by seeing you, remembering you, he will remember Krishna somewhere, like that. So having ourselves being very Krishna conscious and knowing what the ultimate thing, then dealing in this world, will also give you that direction how we can help people to come closer to Krishna. The problem with that social worker is that they are not having any Krishna consciousness, and they only want to feed people, give clothes, which is useless in ultimate sense. It may look a very pious activity, but the point is the soul is suffering. Soul is going to suffer anyway. Even if you give food whole life also to that poor fellow, he has a karma, he will again suffer. So how that person is benefited, you tell me? He is not benefited only. In ultimate sense, he is not benefited. Only you got some pious credit. And for that, you will get birth in some higher family, where also again you will get some material benefits only. So you are also not benefited, that fellow also not benefited. So nobody is benefited. If only is purely material platform. Is it clear, Mohit Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, it is very clear.
Yeah, it's an important thing to understand. Very good question. It's a very important and very good question. Yes. Thank you. And Poonamati, you want to share something?
No, Prabhuji.
Or Abhay Prabhu?
यस जी, मुझे समझ में आया थोड़ा कि मतलब जैसे कि कितना भी हम मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में कुछ भी कर ले, वो दुख ही देता है, और हम स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में कुछ भी अगर करते हैं तो हमारे लिए अच्छा है, और वो मतलब अच्छा रहता है हमारे लिए।
अभय प्रभु शुद्ध हिंदी भाषा को जानते हैं, बट वो इंग्लिश क्लास में बैठते हैं। तो ये सबसे बड़ा गुण है इनके अंदर कि वो सोचते हैं कि ये सब आध्यात्मिक शिक्षाएं हैं, तो पर ये भौतिक दृष्टिकोण से नहीं देखते हैं कि ये शुद्ध, ये आध्यात्मिक ध्वनि है, तो मेरे को शुद्धिकरण होगा, कुछ तो हो जाएगा शुद्धिकरण, तो भले समझे नहीं ना समझे। प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं ना कि अगर इंग्लिश में, बंगाली में क्लास है, अपने ठाकुर को बोलते थे बैठो आप सुनो, क्योंकि ये ट्रांसेंडेंटल साउंड वाइब्रेशन है, इससे आपका शुद्धिकरण हो जाएगा। तो अभय प्रभु इंग्लिश क्लास हो, हिंदी क्लास हो, कोई भी क्लास में बैठ जाते हैं, उनको श्रद्धा है, बहुत अच्छा है, वेरी गुड। Okay, so let us pause here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gaurav.
Hare Krishna.